Welcome back to the Diabetic Diet Show. If you're looking for the best tuna fish sandwich, you're not alone. I like tuna fish for lunch, but I want a good sandwich. I had a friend of mine who worked in a restaurant and taught me how to make a tuna fish sandwich. It starts out with buying good tuna. Now, I generally like tuna in water because I add my own oil, the olive oil. You'll need some black pepper, some pickles, some celery salt, onion, tomato, celery, little cherry tomatoes or big tomatoes, doesn't really matter. For me, the little tomatoes are sweeter. I like them. Of course, mayonnaise, and the first thing you need to do is to put your bread in the toaster. Don't make it unless you toast it. To get started, we need to start cutting up some ingredients and working with the mayonnaise. Now, how much mayonnaise you make depends on how many people are eating and yourself. You can put a little in and then you can go back and you can add some more later. So I'm putting in the mayonnaise, I'm putting in a little bit of olive oil, celery salt. By the way, I know how much I'm putting in. If you'd like the exact measurements, you just go to my website, which is jamestdds.blogspot.com, and I'll have the ingredients there and the measurements. And by the way, probably a good time to tell you, click on the subscribe button and hit that little bell, and next time I drop a new video, you'll get notified, get to see all my videos. Okay, now I need some black pepper. There we go. And then I need some celery. Cutting down the center of the celery, just like this. And I like to cut them up into fairly small pieces. This, you should be able to see it, hopefully. And the onion, cut the onion in half, nice and carefully. This one's a little cold. I took it out of the refrigerator when I got my order. Instead of throwing it in the container, it ended up in the refrigerator. So this one's a little chilled. Now that I've done that, I put the flat side down. That's always the safest way to handle things. I put a little slit in the outside, and then you can get it with your fingernail. And you can get in here to pop out. And you literally just roll it right off the canopy. Then you want to put some slices down this way. About every 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, depending on how thick you want your onions. You put the slices down this way, just like this. Then you go in here. See, and this is nice and safe to do it this way. There's my onions. Maybe a little bit too much. I'll just go ahead and grab my onion container. And this is what I do. If I cut up too much of something, or if I'm going to cut celery and I'm not going to use the whole stalk, I have a container for it. So, and these containers are nice. You can cut something like this in half right at the root so that it stays together. Don't worry about if the center core pops out. You want to get rid of that anyway. And then you can put that inside here like this, and you can use it later. Okay, the toast is done. Let's take the toast out. Next is to do our tomatoes, and I've thrown a couple more pieces of bread in there so I can make 2 sandwiches. Now, the tomatoes have to be cut up, they have to be squished. There's no easy way to squish these that I know of. You have to just kind of cut them up like this. You really don't need a whole lot of them. I'm going to put 3 in this. You want to kind of squish them when you cut them, which is kind of different than what you normally do when you're doing something with tomatoes, making a sandwich where it's going to show. But with these are ingredients to go into the mix. You don't really want these to be chunks. Looks good. I'm always trying to be careful with my knife because I've had them fall off the table before. And that's not a good experience. That could be bad. Tuna. That's next. Cut this little rascal up. Has everybody seen the new can opener on the internet? It literally unrolls the can. I think I saw an ad, it was about 29 bucks. I think I need to get one of those. I don't know why, I just think it'd be fun to have one. Tuna goes in. Now, let's take this back for a minute. Put in some black pepper. I'm going to put in just a pinch of pink Himalayan salt. That's strong, so you don't want to use a lot of that. Lastly, we have the pickles. Don't skip this part. This is a really, really important part of this. You want to cut these up. And of course you want them small. You don't really want to be tasting just the pickle. You want to get an explosion mix of all of it together when you take a bite. You want onion, you want garlic, you want a pickle in there. That's layers of flavors. Now I like pickles, so I might put in more pickles than you would. There we go. Now I'm going to just clean this off really fast. Just like that. And then I have one last task, and that is my garlic. So for the garlic, I'm going to take out the entire bulb. I'm going to break off a clove. Set the bulb aside for a minute. Little paring knife, I'm just going to knock the end off each one of these. Just like that. Then you put it inside your container. Put your lid on it. And you shake it. After you shake it, it's really cool. The paper comes right off. Isn't that neat? Now, we'll just start to cut this up and put away the rest of the garlic for next time. Just a little smash like that. I like this knife because it's heavily serrated. It's kind of a paring knife. I tell you, I used it the other day. I made a stuffed tomato. If you haven't seen that video, you might want to go look at that. And what's nice about this knife is it cuts tomatoes really well because of the serration on it. As opposed to my chef knife, which of course has a fantastic edge on it. These are fairly new. I just got them in the last month. But the paring knife has a heavier serration so that you can cut things. Now, I just wanted to let you in on one little trick that I didn't do because of the event of time. But my trick is, onions can have a little bit of a bite to them. And if you want to get rid of the bite, about 5 minutes or so before you make something, you throw it in a bowl of water. You just let them sit in the bowl of water, nothing fancy, and they sit there and it takes the bite out of them. Now, I happen to like the onions, but some people like them a little bit more mild. And you know, onions are funny. Once you cook them, they get real mild once they get yellow. And it's just like garlic. People that don't like garlic probably have eaten raw garlic. I don't really like raw garlic either. I'll eat raw potatoes, but I'm not real big on raw garlic. I kind of like my garlic cooked or roasted. So with garlic, you want to roast it. It takes the bite out of it. With onions, you want to soak them in the water, and it takes the bite out of them. You probably could do that with garlic too. Somebody can give that a try and drop me a note and let me know if that works or not. I'm always looking to learn new things. So now let's go ahead and get some mayonnaise on this, and we'll get this sandwich made. One of the tricks to making the better sandwich is to put the mayonnaise on the bread, both sides, even though you have it inside your mix. I just use a little spatula like this, and I just go ahead and put the mayonnaise on here. I use a whisk of some sort. Make sure you try to break up the tomatoes more than you already did when you cut them. Now, when you whisk this up, if you look at it and you say, you know, it's a little dry, you could add in a little more olive oil. You can add in a little more mayonnaise. I'm going to put in a little more mayonnaise because I really like the mayonnaise. There we go. That should be plenty. You know, it's always easy to add more. It's hard to take out. Now it looks proper. This looks like tuna fish now. That looks delicious. I know this is going to be great. There we go. I just put a pile on there like that. This is my working dish anyway. Cooks usually have a working dish. Some extra mayonnaise. I hope you enjoy the sandwich. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye for now. That's our show for today. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button and click the bell so when we drop a new video, you'll get notified. Goodbye for now.